New year, it must be that time to set new goals for the year, and I'm sure that you've already been thinking about these, of all your SMART objectives, but I'm not talking about work, I'm talking about you. As a manager, I'm sure you all know about SMART objectives and you plan them for your team, for the business, but yeah, when do you actually sit down and think about, where am I going with all of this? Because, believe it or not, work and life should be about fun and enjoying ourselves. So, perhaps now's the time to make some changes for this year. Now, everyone has a dream, and most believe they're unachievable. How about sometimes making some of those a bit more of a reality? Making them happen. Big goals, big challenges, comfort zones, and blasting them away and going doing new things. And I think it's a really good question. What are all the things that I say to myself that I'd love to do, but I never get round to doing? Now, I always have two ways of thinking about this. Who makes you think differently? Conversations with people, interesting people. Go and find them. What are they up to? And once they get talking about perhaps their aspirations and what they're looking to achieve, and make sure you're talking to the right people. It's not too sort of, too sort of out there in the distance. They're just people that you just know that they do a lot, they do get a lot of things done, and they can be quite inspiring. So have some conversations. I had a lovely conversation with a good friend of mine recently at a football match, and it was all about what they want to do, and they started talking about certain things. I thought, that sounds like a nice idea. I wouldn't mind doing that, and I think I'm quite good at this. But he got me thinking by me asking him questions and him telling me what to do. So go and have some good conversations with people. Now that's one thing, conversations with people. Who makes you think differently? The second is where makes you think differently. I think this is essential. What environments? Could be walking the dog early in the morning, late in the evening. Could be travelling. People watching in a cafe, sporting events. I love that. I love getting there early, watching the ground fill up and just watching people's behaviours. Just gets me thinking about things. Music, gigs, concerts, theatres, all these different areas where you can just take yourself to different places, just makes you think differently. So let's give it the SMART treatment then. So I've got two personal goals that I'm currently working on. And so I'm going to be specific. So the SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic for me to do it, and create a timeline to do it. I love to go and watch football, and I love going to new football grounds, also rugby grounds and cricket grounds. So this year I've set myself the target of 10 new grounds. I actually set this up in the summer, and I've got until the end of May. So I've been specific. We can measure it because I tick them off, and I have my little spreadsheet to do my 92 Football League grounds. I've got about another 9 to do, and I'm started on my non-league grounds. I've got my anorak to wear when I go. I'm called a ground hopper, apparently. I can tick those off so I can measure it. Is it achievable? Yes, because I do lots of travelling around the country, and I just make sure it fits in with when there's a game, and I can go to some strange out of the way football grounds. Recently I went to Barrow in Furness, near the Lake District in the UK, and I don't think I'll ever go there again, but I was on my way to Scotland, so hey, stopped off, stayed in a hotel, went to watch a football match, tick. So is it realistic for me to do? Yes, definitely. This was by the end of May, and I'm up to, I think I've done 7. So I've only got 3 more to do the end of May. So I'm going to smash this goal. So that's going really well. The second one is golf. I've decided to learn to play golf. And I'll tell you more about why I've decided that a bit later on. Specific, I want to get to a handicap of 18. Measurable, every time I play, I can do a measurement and see how I'm getting on. Achievable, well, if other people can do it, I can do it. Realistic for me, yes, because I have a bit of a plan. Play once or twice every 2 weeks. I practice once a week and have a goal lesson once a month. Hey, when am I going to achieve this? By June. I'm sort of around the 2021 at the moment, so I'm getting there. So they're my 2 sort of SMART goals that actually I set up in the summer and working on. But over Christmas and New Year, I'll be sitting down with my book and going, what else do I want to do? be it for me, be it for my family, for my wife, my dog, whoever. So set our goals, but trouble is we normally look at them and think, oh gosh, that's too big, I can't do that. And what I set myself this year was to do a big cycle event. Now, it's 110 miles round Dartmoor in Devon, and it's not the distance necessary, it's the climbing. And plus, to add to it, the challenge, I've had 2 new knees recently, so I was taking myself a bit out of my comfort zone, and the training was pretty tough. And I looked at it and started off thinking, I can't do this, this is bonkers. But I started off only being able to cycle for a couple of hours. To get around this distance and all these climbs, someone like me, my age, my weight and everything else, it's going to take me about 9 hours. So I started off being able to cycle for 2 hours and just gradually set myself a challenge over 6 months just to gradually increase it week by week. And I set all the milestones out in my diary. So I need to be able to have done 30 miles, 40, 50, 60 with different time scales of different months before the event. And then 2 weeks before the event, I did a big 100-mile locally. Didn't have the climbs, but I've done lots of hill practice. And I just looked at the steps. Sometimes you just need to focus on 2 steps. 2 steps, I call it. Don't think about the whole goal, just think 2 steps. And then go and do them, and then go and plan the next 2 steps. And then it's just making sure that I then look at the next steps, playing on a weekly basis, practice and things. Just think 2 steps. Don't think the whole goal. So you're up and running with your goal setting. Keep it smart, keep it simple. What is quite a nice idea is to share your goals. Sometimes we call it accountability. Have an accountability buddy or accountability coach. It's someone you share things with, they share things with you, and you go, right, I'm going to do this, you're going to do that. Let's meet up in a couple of weeks' time and see how we're getting on, or a month's time. I think it's really good because you've got to make it fun, you've got to be realistic, and it's got to be challenging. And I think that's really quite important. And then, we'll enjoy these things. And at the end of the year, you look back and go, tick, 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 tick. So just imagine me with my Excel spreadsheet putting on my football grounds and going, there's another one done. I have great delight when I get back from a long journey and just go to my computer, Excel spreadsheet, tick, tick, tick. As a manager of people and doing all this in the working environment, don't forget about yourselves. I think it's a great way to link it into your PDRs and appraisals during the year. And whilst you're doing everybody else's, don't forget to do your own. And perhaps you might like to get your people to do personal goal setting as well. It's a good way of showing that you're interested in them.